That was absolutely hammered. What's the number? 285 yards of carry, 320 yards of total. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards. So I know what you're thinking. Another golf coach on YouTube promising me distance, and ultimately it's just going to be a letdown. Well, I promise you today is not going to be a letdown. After today's video, you are going to be hitting the golf ball further, and I can back it up with data and proof. So it's going to be an absolutely awesome video. Now, before we jump into it, please give the video a like and the channel a subscribe. It massively helps me out and allows me to produce more content for you. Now, the key concept we are talking about today is something called sway gap. Now, if I bring up this awesome graphic next to me, we can see that there are two lines drawn. A blue line, which is going down from the center of the chest all the way down to the ground, and a yellow line, which is going from the center of the pelvis, again, down to the ground. So the sway gap is the difference between those two lines, and that's what we're measuring today. That's what we're focusing on. Now, let me hit a goal shot for you first, and then we're going to break down what I see so many amateurs get wrong and how it's going to make you super inefficient. So let me hit a shot for you right now. So as I play that back on the screen, you can actually see that that turned out to be a pretty straightish shot, and I did hit it out of the toe, so it felt like it wanted to cut, but it ended up going quite straight. Now you can also see the TrackMan data right here, and TrackMan is a radar system. It picks everything up, so it's super, super high tech, used by the best players in the world, so it's super accurate as well. So as you can see, it's not too bad of a drive, but we could definitely make it a lot better. So if I now chuck up the Sportsbox data and we take a look at this swing, what do you notice about the blue line relative to the yellow line? So the chest relative to the pelvis. Well, in this situation here, we can see the chest was ahead of the pelvis at address. Now from here, as I then swung to the top, you can see that chest stayed ahead of the pelvis slightly, very, very slightly. And then as I started down in transition, it was ahead, and then it started to tilt away. So what we are essentially seeing here is a movement so many amateurs do, and this movement is very, very inefficient. Now, if I actually just do a little bit of a comparison side by side, so we got the amateur here, we got the tour pro over here, which is going to be Tiger Woods in this example, you can see how there's a very different relationship between the blue and the yellow lines right here. In the amateur, the blue line, or my amateur example, the blue line was ahead of the yellow at address. In Tiger Woods, the blue line is behind the yellow at address. So let's first of all break that down. What is that showing right there? Essentially, it's showing that at address, Tiger is in a much better position to where his spine is tilted away from the target and his pelvis is closer to the target like this. So here's what I want you to do to fix it. First and foremost, I want you to grab your driver. I want you to hold it right in the center of your chest and right in the center of your pelvis right there. So basically where those two lines are drawn down from in the Sportsbox data. Then from there, you can see this creates a tail between my legs. I want you to push your hips forwards and drop your trail shoulder back so that tail points just forwards and middle. Now from here, if you look down, you can see my pelvis is slightly closer to the target than my chest. And that is literally how you achieve the same setup position as Tiger Woods right there. Super simple, super easy. Once you've then done that, put your hands on the club, and now it's going to be so much easier. So that was the easy bit, that was the setup. Now let's bring these up again and let's look at the backswing. So the backswing very much followed what we did at address right there. And a golden rule is, in Tiger's situation, he sets up with the chest slightly back of the pelvis. He maintains that relationship as he turns back. So you can see by the time he gets to the top of the backswing, the blue line is further away from the target than the yellow line is. Versus in the amateur example that I did, you can see how the blue line is actually still slightly closer to the target at the top of the backswing. Now, if we think about this in terms of what's going to help us set us up for the most efficient and powerful and on-plane downswing, it's obviously this one over here, right? This is going to help us get into that great downswing position to where you can use your legs, use your power, hit the ball so much further. So how can we achieve this position? Well, first and foremost, it starts with that good setup position, hence why we started there. Then from there, we've got to learn what it feels like to turn whilst keeping the hips relatively centered. So in the middle of our feet is what I mean by centered, and then getting the left shoulder behind the golf ball. Here is a phenomenal drill to help you with that. So what I want you to do is grab 2 alignment sticks. Now from there, place these alignment sticks right down between your feet. You're going to place the first one right here, just on the inside part of your trail foot, and you're going to place this second one pretty much right in the middle of your stance right there. Now, from there, grab your golf club, have the bind of the grip point down towards the target. Let me just miss my mic, and get into your golf posture. Hips slightly closer to the target than the center of the chest. Now from here, I want you to turn and feel like you keep your hips or your belt buckle somewhat over this alignment stick in the middle of my feet as you turn your left shoulder or the golf club on your shoulders over the one by your trail foot. You can see how when I do this, I get into a really nice position to where I'm able to get this spine angle that leans away from the target. And this is where we would see on the Sportsbox data that blue line be further away from the target than the yellow line. So do this a couple times, really go nice and slow to start with. Make sure you get some good spine, shoulder tilt in there and get yourself moving correctly. Then once you've done that a couple times, then grip the club and do some swings rehearsing this motion right here. Feeling that left shoulder get behind the ball. And it actually feels like, to me, my tailbone, which is right at the bottom of my spine, is going towards the target. That's sort of the feeling I'm having here. Tailbone towards the target, left shoulder behind the ball. Let's give this a hit, again with the TrackMan data and everything, and let's see if this produces some better numbers. So when we look at the data here, we can see some massive differences. Number one, the ball speed is way higher. You can see the carry in total has jumped up a lot, which is fantastic as well. Now the other big one is we can see the angle of attack has also gone up. Now this is crucial because when the angle of attack is going up, guess what? It means your body is working better, more efficiently, but it's also going to help you optimize out your distance. Now, if we take a look at the Sportsbox data, what do we see straight away? We see the blue line at address is behind the yellow, and we see it stays there during the backswing, which is great as I turn. And now that brings us beautifully into the downswing. So what happens in the downswing? Well, let's get rid of me. Let's bring Tiger back in. He's a far better golfer than me. What do we see Tiger do in the downswing, and why is this so important? We actually see the distance between his chest and his pelvis, that sway gap, increase. So it increases right here. Now straight away, so many golfers are like, wait. He's shifting his pelvis towards the target, but he's keeping his chest back. How does he do that? Because a lot of golfers, when they hear this, they end up just sort of falling backwards. So when he is doing that, two things are happening. Number one, he is obviously shifting his body weight towards the target, hence why his pelvis is going towards the target. So in the downswing, as I am shifting and turning, my right shoulder is going to be dropping. And you can see as I do that, my head comes back. So if I do that here, I go to the top, I'm in that good position, I'm shifting towards the target and my right shoulder slowly starts to go into side bend. You can see it keeps my head back, my pelvis is still going this way, and then I go all the way through here. Now, it's all well and good me just saying that, but how do you train it? Here is the best drill I know for this. Now, if you've watched my videos before, you know this is my favorite downswing drill, and it is the chopsticks drill. So what I want you to do is grab an alignment stick, place it through your belt loops right here and all the way through. Now, you're actually going to keep it so you have sort of 2/3 pointing away from the target right here. Grab your second alignment stick and hold this end right here, right on your left shoulder joint. So again, all of it is away from the target. Now this is beautiful because as we swing back, number one, we can see how our body is tilting, which is great. But from here, as we start down, I want you to feel like you can shift towards the target. But as you start to come into impact, I want you with the alignment stick on your shoulder to hit the back of the one through the belt loops. Because you can see here, if I do that, I'm able to create this sway gap. If I do what I was doing in the bad one, which is I come down like this and through, you can see I never hit it. So it's here to the top, shifting, and then boom. And as long as I'm hitting the back of the alignment stick, I know that I'm working this movement correctly. So once you've then done that, get rid of the alignment sticks, grab your driver, and then do some rehearsal swings trying to recreate that feeling. So to the top, chest is further away from the pelvis. I'm shifting my pelvis towards the target, feeling that right shoulder drop, and then all the way through. And you can really see as I'm coming through, it's as if I have that intent of hitting up. I'm not just spinning on my back foot, my energy is going towards the target, it's just my right shoulder's dropping as I do that, which gets me in a good position. So I know you want to see me hit one more drive, so what I've done is I brought the iPad down here, which is connected to the TrackMan, so I could tell you the data straight away after the shot. Let's put this all together one last time. Let's really try and hit up on the ball, get as much distance out of this as possible. Hopefully, again, try and get a little bit more distance than last time. So maybe 310, 315 will be great. If we can get anything higher, that'll be huge. So here's, hopefully, what it should look like. That was absolutely hammered. What's the number? 285 yards of carry, 320 yards of total. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a like and subscribe, and I hope to see you back here soon.